What is shaking, y'all? It's your boy, Mark Cordone. We're with Jenn Edden today, New York-based sugar addiction expert, and listen to this, y'all, and empowerment coach. Jenn, we need to talk about this sugar addiction expert and empowerment coach when we get the time. And today we're going to talk about sex and candy. But did you know that you can improve your sex life by changing your relationship with sugar? I had no idea. What? I had no idea. I only thought it was like the only time I thought sex and sugar came together was when you were watching those like 50 Shades of Grey movies or whatever, and they got all kinky and stuff like that. So I want to hear how we can change our relationship with sugar so Cordone's sex life goes to 11, baby. Well, I don't know if it's at 11 or I don't know if it's at 11, but so it can get better. Guess what? We got Trisha Brooke in the house today. Trisha Brooke in the house today. Two of my favorite people. Takes one to know one. Trisha, speaking coach, amazing person who works with actresses in New York. It's good to have you, Trisha. Jenn, I'm gonna start off with you in a second, but for those of you who have not met me, my name is Mark Cordone. I'm the founder of the Make Money Coaching Program, but more importantly, I'm a positive psychology coach, which means two things. The first one is on a daily basis. Are you feeling good? Are you feeling happy? Are you grateful for things? Right? The second thing is, are you living life to full purpose? Because when you're doing both of those things, I don't need to coach you. Just live your life, baby. So Jenn Edden, are you feeling good and living your life to full purpose?
Mark, Mark knows me, so he knows the answer, but I can share my thoughts. Let's go there. So should we talk sugar?
Let's talk sugar in a second. Let's get everybody in who's watching right now to see who's coming in. So you're feeling good and you're functioning at full capacity. Kelly, it's good to have you. I'd like you to say hi. Kelly, I met you this weekend. Say hi to Jenn. You two should definitely connect.
Let's do it.
Freaking awesome folks, and I feel like when I'm around you guys, I got my finger in a light bulb or in a socket, and I'm just lighting up. It's good to see you. Jorge from Puerto Rico, good to see you. Trisha says Jenn is on fire. For those of you who don't know Jenn, you need to stick around and hear this story. Kelly says, hey girl. I
love it. Hi, Kelly.
Hey girl. So everybody who's watching, Kelly, Jorge, if you're feeling good and living life to your full purpose, let us see some hearts. Jenn, how do you make hearts? How do you make your hearts? Jenn, make some.
Oh, baby.
Like this.
I'm Italian. I've got many different hand gestures.
Oh, right on. So, y'all, we want to see you give some hearts if you're feeling good and living.
Oh my God, capacity, Mark.
Right? Now let me throw this out. If you're starting off and you're like, it's Tuesday, Cordone, Jenn, I got a migraine today. And you're like, I'm not feeling great. Or if you're making a transition in your life and you're like, yo, I don't know what my full purpose is right now. Guess what, y'all? Your heart is beating just like the rest of us. You're getting by. You're showing resilience. Everybody goes through that. That's part of happiness. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know you're alive, and we'll recognize that. That's part of life, y'all. Okay? Now, here's the last thing. If you're feeling optimistic, y'all, for those of you who are watching this, if you are feeling optimistic about your future, if you were feeling optimistic about tomorrow, there's another button down there. Give us a big old wow face. Jenn, I want to see your wow face. Jenn's optimistic. It's awesome. Renee wants to tune in and say, oh gosh, you guys, I can't believe I'm so lucky to catch this live. Renee, it takes one to know one. Jorge, beautiful. a full smile. Jorge's already trying to do the sex and sugar with Jenn. Davion Boyd is here. Davion, good to see you.
You know what?
Hey, right back to you. We see you. Kelly, the day is full of potential. We want to see that wow face, Kelly. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're seeing heart scrolling like crazy. Jenn, this is all you today. This is all your energy.
Mark.
So Jenn, what's up?
Thinking about you, I got excited. And not just the topic, but just, so when you're living your full potential, like who said it, Jorge? Like it just radiates from your face. You can't pretend.
It radiates from your face and your heart and your gut and your back shoulders. Like you can just see it. You can just see it. You know, when people are glowing, it just radiates. If y'all have met Jenn in person, she is glowing. It doesn't even look like you walk, Jenn. It's like you float around. So I'm so happy to have you on that show, on the show. And the thing is, we will talk about sex and sugar in a second. But what I want to talk about is you. I want to talk about your story. So the first question I got is, what's your story, Jenn?
How much time we got? No, I love it. All right,
30 minutes.
I'm going to go there because, right, I grew up in Brooklyn and no pun intended or pun intended, right? I couldn't sugarcoat if I wanted. And what I love about being able to come on here and share this is because I didn't always feel this good. And people can see me and go, like, put me over there, right? Like she's one of those. And I can never be like that. And the truth is, I didn't wake up this way. I didn't grow up this way. This is called learned behavior. This is called gratitude every day. This is called managing my sugar because that shit causes me anxiety.
Yeah.
It's called really taking a look at what my purpose is. And I'm going to go there real quick because not a lot of people know that I have survived a near-death gas explosion. I don't even know if you know. At 26, I was just married to my husband and not on my life's purpose. And I swear the universe will show you any way it can. And my husband and I always chuckle. Like, I'm stubborn, right? So I literally needed a gas explosion to blow me out of my house to wake me up. And I woke up all right. And within 2 years, I found my profession. And I have never looked back. So the smile on my face is, it's deep.
Well, Jenn, let me ask.
It's deep.
Let me ask you this. It sounds like a gas explosion that blows you out of the house. We usually see in cartoons, and I like that's hard to imagine a person surviving from that. But you'd imagine that that there would be some either post-traumatic stress disorder or post-traumatic growth that happens as a result. And you're demonstrating growth. Oh, both. Beautiful.
Yeah, you have to have breakdown, breakthrough. Right?
Renee says this.
But I've got 35 stitches on my face. I love Renee. Stubborn
Italian. No way.
It's called breakdown, breakthrough, right? Because you do the mental piece of breakdown, breakthrough. So I had to have a breakdown. And by the way, we lost everything we owned, except for a couple of things, our wedding album, some pictures. But we were just married 4 months. So when you lose physically everything, minus my husband and one cat, there's nowhere to go but up. So I was down, and then, winners rise to the top, baby. So
damn right.
I did some soul searching, and I started my career 2 years almost to the day.
Well, happy anniversary almost to the day. And let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What was Jenn like before the explosion? Talk to us about that, Jenn.
Let's go there. That's you can see my face change because that was like, people never believe it, but anxious, but low levels of anxiety. It's the stuff people come see me for because I'm high functioning, but it's the stuff when you go to bed at night, you feel it, you wake up and you feel it. I had gastritis, which is one step before an ulcer. I had a super stressful job. I loved it. I was working for a nonprofit, so it was feel-good work, but super stressful, dealing with board members and I didn't know how to cope. I didn't have good coping skills. And
Yeah.
that will destroy you. And you want to bring in sugar. So sugar was my friend. Like sugar is how I handled or coped with like all the stuff that I didn't grow up having tools for.
Sure.
I grew up in a family of anxiety and depression and two parents, both parents cycling in and out of depression pretty much my whole life until my 30s. So, you know, they didn't have the tools to teach me. So when you don't have the tools, Mark, you know, as a kid, God bless, I say it now with a smile. Like people say, how do you smile? Well, because when your mess becomes your mission, right? We've heard this one before. This one's not mine. And my problems have become my passion. I can't help but give away what I learned. I can't help but give it away, which is why I get jacked every day. Because I figured it out without drugs and without dieting or deprivation or over exercising, all this stuff people do to hide like what's going on the inside. I mean, you're a mental performance coach, right? You know, it's so what you're seeing is congruency. Like I feel on the outside the way I feel on the inside.
Which is absolutely a huge deal. I think so many people who come into I'm just going to use an I statement. So many people who come in to talk to me, they don't feel a congruency with where it is that they are or where it is that they want to go. There's sort of a status quo that they're living in, and sort of the low level anxiety is what they've always been used to, and they see a life where they're getting rid of it, but they just don't know how to, and it starts causing even more tension. I love the fact that you bring up low level anxiety, because so many people think that, well, it's not until the shit hits the fan and I go into that high level anxiety that I'm feeling weighed down. The low level anxiety, for those of you who are like kind of bio nerds, eats at your DNA strands so much that your telomeres get shorter and shorter. And so you can actually take a sample from somebody and you can tell how stressed out they are on a long-term or short-term basis based on their telomeres. So I'm seeing a few people here that are coaches. Kelly, I'm looking at you, sister. And that idea of low-level anxiety, it can often be called catabolic energy. And you know, when people used to say like something is weighing me down, or I'm feeling like something, like I'm carrying a weight on my back, that's actually low level anxiety. And Jenn, it's awesome that you're bringing that up.
Well, that's who I best serve. There are the women and men, but a lot of women who are high functioning, but this sugar piece, which absolutely affects sex, right? Anxiety and hormone imbalance, of course, is going to affect how you feel. And especially if your body doesn't look the way in your mind you want it to, you know you bring that to the bedroom. You have to, because we're most vulnerable when we're naked and having sex. So that has to play in. What'd you say?
You have to take your clothes off to have sex?
Listen. I'm married, 16 plus years now? It's to each his own how we want to do it. We have our preferences. We knew we were going to go there.
I came from Catholic school, right? So like,
oh God,
we saw the slideshow and there was just an angel between the two cups.
You and me both.
I was like, what? An angel comes down? Maybe that's sugar. But like, before we even go to the sex part, I want to talk to you about, you were telling me about like sort of how sugar was your best buddy, right? Oh, Andy Castile, we went to school together. So do you remember that slideshow? So we went to Catholic school together, me and Andy Castile. So Jenn, talk to me about that relationship you had with sugar.
You know, I'm finding what's nice is I'll share it, because I'm finding the more I share this, the more it gives people permission. Like, oh my God, I did or still do that too. Like I would come home from school and it would be like ice cream in the freezer, and there was no like couple of bites. It was almost half gallon. And since I went to Catholic school, let's talk about those little dollar chocolate bars.
Yes,
those you had to sell.
Wait, the ones with the wooden spoon?
Yeah, baby. $10 in one night I would owe. And for people who don't know what that means, they're $1 a bar. And like, I don't exaggerate, and I'm a truth teller. 10 in a night. They go down. They go down. And I tell people this one all the time. So when the feelings aren't allowed up, sugar goes down. So we didn't, with all due respect to my parents, there wasn't a lot of space to share what was coming up. So sugar goes down. And like a lot of sugar went down. And because sugar went down, and a lot of it, like you were saying, your body breaks down. So for me, I would profusely sweat in Catholic school. Remember those little, I went to Catholic school in Brooklyn. So it was like the blue button-up shirts made of
heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Anything on that, you see it. So I would just sweat in 6th grade. I would just sweat down to my hips, and I'd call my mom, like it was my body trying to detox.
Yeah.
And I was nervous, super, and I would grind my teeth down to the bottom, and they would give me those night guards, but it was never what's going on. So I just keep eating sugar. Like, there wasn't a lot of consciousness around this, right? And so this is the work you do and the work I do, bringing consciousness to what's going on. And that's one of the things to do, to get a hold on that friggin' sugar, which is in everything.
Yeah, and actually, just in general, if anybody is looking to make a life improvement and they're feeling the feels around it, the first thing to do is examine your invisible tapestry, the decisions and thoughts and beliefs that you have, and oftentimes there's a belief that's not serving you anymore, right? And so, Jen, I love the fact that you're talking about, like, I had these unconscious behaviors, but I didn't think about sort of what the drivers and triggers were for those unconscious behaviors, you know? And in many ways, I heard you start off with the fact that you were talking about low-level anxiety. And so in many ways, how can we soothe that low-level anxiety with either something cold or something sugary? We drive it down. Ooh, I feel good.
Let's go there, because that's a chemical reaction in the body that goes on. That's not. That was my drug of choice. You know, that actually, truth be told, I mean, I think you know this, but sugar lights up the same part of the brain that cocaine does. So there's this, you're feeling pain. Well, sugar will actually, for a moment or two, right, diminish that and light up your pleasure sensors. So of course, as a kid, right, even into my 20s, let's be honest, just keep lighting up the pleasure, baby. Light up the pleasure. Not knowing, which is what I educate people on, that it's just a Band-Aid. It's not actually doing what you want it to do. And when we start talking about that, my women and men who are super successful but can't figure out this personal part of their life, they only like to do what works. So, right, when we start highlighting, well, look, we bring consciousness to it, we shine a light on it. Well, that doesn't actually work for what you're not even aware you're trying to do.
Yep. Love it.
Boom.
Boom shakalaka. I love that you're talking about that, because I do have to let a little cat out of the bag. The reason why I say when I'm a positive psychologist, are you feeling good on a daily basis and are you living in full purpose? If you only focus on feeling good on a moment-to-moment or daily basis, you are only lighting up the dopaminergic reuptakes. I'm so sorry. You're only lighting up the part of the brain that's associated with sugar rushes, with cocaine, drugs, the addictive part of the brain, the fun part of the brain, right? The part that lights us up, that lights up when we eat sugar, or just to call out the platform we're on, or even when we go and check our Facebook and look for the likes. So at the beginning, when I'm like, give us hearts, right? That part of the brain lights up if we post something and then we suddenly see 200, 300, 400 likes. It's the same part. It is that, I would say, I mean, as a neuroscience, I studied neuroscience, and it is associated with the addiction part of the brain as well. And so I'm really excited that you talked about sugar and addiction to sugar, and sort of, you're really laying out how sugar is really an addictive thing. It's probably one of the most addictive things.
Should we go there? And do you know not why, but because it's in everything. Because it's in everything.
Everything.
My passion, slight anger, pissed offness with a smile.
Yeah.
Because it's in everything. And so it's one thing if you know, all right, cocaine or whatever, right, is addictive. It's not in your bread, your mustard, your chips, your crackers. Of course, it's in the ice cream. It's in your milk. It's in yogurt. It's in, oh my God, I went to get some hamburger buns yesterday for the kids and I Instagrammed it, Jenn Edden, if you want to see what I'm posting. And like, there's like sugar and bread. And my kids go, oh mom, take it down a notch. Just buy what you want. Please don't go on a little rant at the store. But it's because people don't know that they don't know this stuff. And then we're getting sick. So what we talked about with the telomeres, the beauty is I'm a biochemist. So what you also don't know is I went to medical school, but I couldn't stand it. I did. I did. I wanted to be I'm full of like bag of tricks. Like there's so many things people don't know about me. So I went to medical school for a little under a year and then I quit, like wasn't working, eating sugar, feeling depressed, body told me go. So I left. But before I left, there are things, well, let me just say that when the body goes into that place and craves stuff, it's because you're out of alignment. Mm. But I bring all this up because, so I was a biochemist and, God, I forgot what I was going to say about it. But the chemistry, because of the chemistry in the body, sugar changes what's going on in the body. And when it's in everything, it's very hard to like take it out in a way where you're going to see results. Let's go there because you and I are results driven.
Yep. Yeah, let's talk that.
So it's hard to take it out in a way that you see results. And I'm going to put in a little plug because it just makes sense. That's my job, to show you where the hell it is. And it's not just this feel good piece that we're talking about, right? And getting a handle on your mindset. But it's a physiological issue, Mark. It's physiological. That stuff is lodging in the brain, especially if it's the aspartame and the sucralose. They've done studies.
Oh, look at you go. You go.
I don't call myself sugar addiction expert because I don't know my facts, And but it's in everything. And I work with a lot of people who say, so I'm always the last resort for people, meaning like when they're done trying everything else, they come to me because that's how I like it. It just means you're ready to go because I'm ready to go. And I start educating people on what it's in and all the different names for it. And you can eat clean for lunch and dinner, but start off in a rush with a breakfast that has crazy sugar in it. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you did for lunch and dinner because your breakfast screwed you up for the day. Or you were good all day, but you had this snack at night. And then, I wanted to be good the next morning, but I couldn't get my head on track. And it's like not your fault. It's because the snack you had at night set you up to go down in the morning. And that's when I just lose it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is the reason why. And if y'all already want to know more from Jenn, her email is in the show notes right now. So you can get a jump start on getting in touch with Jenn. Because Jenn, I have a feeling that this show will be watched a few more times in repeat. And you're gonna get some hits from this. Oh, look at you! Is that what you do in med school?
Like so when you talk, for those who don't know, like my energy just dances with Mark. So like when I'm around an energy where I like, come on, I used to go to the clubs.
You used to go to the clubs.
You used to music for that. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this: we get. We're low level anxiety. You grew up in a household where it was tough to get the coping skills to figure out how to handle the low level anxiety. There were some superficial ways that you were handling and trying to manage that low level anxiety. The gas blows up in your house and you go flying out of it. You're 4 months into a marriage. And you got a cat and some wedding pictures, right? That's
pretty much, it makes it really easy to move into an apartment. It's just a bin. we have 2 bins, no moving truck required.
So let me ask you this. We could probably go into a full hour of aha moments. But
another day.
what was the aha that this means that you're going to come back on the show? Booyakasha! So what was the aha moment that you had around you and sugar when you got stitches on the face, we're healing up, and you're like, yeah, the universe just literally slapped me in the face.
Yeah.
And this was my wake-up call.
Yeah.
What did you wake up from when you were when it came to your relationship with sugar?
Mark. All right, so we're going to go there. So for those who happen to be watching now or on replay, please chime in if you have experienced near death. See, because something happens for someone who has experienced near death that I can talk about it, but people who have experienced it, you know what I mean? They'll just go, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's a quietness that comes over you, probably as if I was a Buddhist monk and I had meditated for, like, if I had to guess, 30 years in the mountains by myself. So a quietness comes over you, but not until you do the proper work, right, to clear whatever trauma was there. So I did lots of work to clear, lots of crying, lots of tears, really helpful, by the way. People don't realize tears are cleansing. So, and it's just emotions, energy and motion. So I'm always like, cry it out. So I cried pretty much for many, many months. And then this quiet comes over you. And then, I mean, you're living your purpose. You just know. I just went into action. And it wasn't even me. It was an outer body experience. I literally just would go online and just start looking up life coach, health coach, acupuncture, like anything, Reiki healer, anything related to healing. I just started asking for brochures. So like 25 brochures like got mailed to my house. Huh. And I just went through them and I would go, no, 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 no. And then one came across my table. I read it cover to cover. True story. I got on my husband. I'm like, look, I'm going to the school. I'm going to be a certified holistic health coach. I know it sounds crazy because I know right now I've got this job that I'm supporting him because he started his own business. So I'm taking care of us while he's running his new business. I'm like, don't worry, you'll be fine. I'm going to quit my job. It's going to take about a year, 2 years tops. And I know it's nuts. I'm just doing it, Joe. And my husband says, and I quote, okay, honey, is that everything? I got to get back to work. I said, yeah, I love you, babe. And I hung up. And that's a true story. He always love you, babe. And then he hung up. And that was how it started. And so I was, one of the first people to get 10 clients in the class. And through the birth of 3 kids, every time this is a true story. Not a lot of people know this. My clients know it. Every time, Mark, I question right path, something feels off. Maybe I'll just take a break. The universe, God, whatever you believe in, he's like, mm-mm. And I just start getting clients, and it's remarkable. I'm on the right path because, people who have never seen me, I don't market a lot. I do what I do. I do Facebook Lives. I've been writing for 14 years. I've been doing this 14 years, by the way. People are like, wow, you've been doing this a long time. I'm like, I just kind of keep going. And now I'm grateful because now I'm more visible, right? And I'm owning it. And I wrote a book. And so I'm working on being more visible because my calling now is visibility. So now I'm owning, get out of your house. Get to 5, 8, and 10. 5, 8, and 10, like get out and speak and spread this message. Because so many people do it different, and I never knock it, right? Everyone's work is for somebody. But my work is not about deprivation or denial or being on a diet. I mean, I work out 3 days a week. I look super fly, and it's because I mean, you got to own it, right? You got to own how you look. You look
and super fly. Sorry, Joe.
Oh my God, my husband is amazing. He's amazing. No, we're very secure in our marriage. That's something else, right? We're rock solid. There's no room for jealousy, and we don't run that way. But it's because I do the stuff consistently that I teach, and it's simple. It's simple, but it takes commitment. It's simple. The stuff I teach is simple. It's just you got to follow along, and get educated. And get educated.
Let me ask you this now. I want to get into the sex and candy, candy, candy.
Oh, Mark, it's gorgeous.
I couldn't stop singing that song "Sex and Candy" last night when I knew we were going to come on. So like, what is the relationship between sex and sugar?
Well, we could say sex drive too, because a lot of women, high stress, anxiety, that kills. I'm going to do it like this. People always laugh. That kills your sex drive.
Yeah.
Kills your sex drive. And for the longest time, I didn't have a great sex drive. It's back on the up and up. I mean, I've got no shame. It's the truth, especially you have kids, you're working. And I was like, what's up? I love this man. He's gorgeous. What's up? And it's multifaceted. But the truth is, sugar is a large part of it. A large part. And not just because for many people, in fact, I feel like everybody, until you're off it or eating it the way I teach, which is managing it with low drama sugars. I'll just say, like for me, maple syrup and honey and stevia. When you're managing it, people don't actually realize A, how good it can be, sex, and B, how good they can feel. So when you feel good before you're even with your partner, you bring that to the bedroom. And yeah, that just makes sense.
You just got to preach it, sister. Kelly.
And when you look the way you want to look, and I go there 2 seconds because I am passionate about watching people at the gym. So I happen to love the gym. I'm not obsessed with the gym, but for me, leaving my house, I feel good around people. So when I'm at the gym and I see women, because I've been going there long enough, time and time again, and their bodies don't change, and they are at that gym thinking they need to do 5 more squats, 30 more push-ups. I got to bring the sign next week. Like, you can't exercise sugar off your belly. I don't care what people say. I want to see someone who eats.
You got a boom from
Allison. And you can't. And people go, oh my God, why do you have a 6-pack? You must be obsessed. I'm like, dude, I'm not obsessed. I just eat in a way where low sugar, low processed foods, which turn to sugar rapidly. And that stuff not only kills your sex drive, but it lodges around your middle. Yeah. And then I hear people go, oh my God, why? Well, why your arms, look at that as a night, like why your arms so defined? And they're like, I feel puffy. And I say, because I'm not puffy.
No.
Really. No. And let's go there quick. If you're puffy, it's a protection. It's a protection that your body is giving you. So your cells just take on water. It doesn't mean it hates you, your body. Let's do it. It means your body is crying. It's literally how I talk to people. Your body's crying. Your body's upset. And in order, let's talk about it. Apoptosis. We do a little apop, right? So your body, your cells want to live. They don't want to die, right? So what do? They fill with water because there's so many friggin' chemicals and so many cells of the body when you're eating this crap all the time that the cells, they blow up. So I know for me, I mean, I'm not perfect. It's a made up word anyway, but my husband's birthday was this past week and he's like, ooh, let's have a little flourless cake. I'm like, yay. So I like to celebrate. I eat it on occasion, but I felt a little bloat after. And instead of being pissed, like a lot of people get mad at their bodies. Yeah. I do the opposite, Mark. I actually friggin' apologize. And I say, you know what, body? So sorry I ate that. I was enjoying it. How about I do it different next time? And I send it an apology because I know the science behind it, that it's not trying to torture me. And women go, oh my God, my body's out to get me. I'm like, dude, your body's not out to get you. It's just upset with you.
Number one, we got Andy.
Oh, Andrew. Thank you. It's the truth.
Oh, it's Andy. It's Andy from Catholic school said, truth. You just dropped the truth.
Upset with you.
What I absolutely love about that apology that you give your body is that oftentimes when in working with my clients, I'll do a visualization of just like, what is the most valuable element or thing in the world that you can think about? and they'll say something like a diamond or a piece of platinum. And then you can come back and say, well, why aren't you treating your body like that? Because that's where it starts, right? That's where everything starts. And I definitely am not the one to start with that, because when I was writing my book, whoosh, apoptosis, like I reached for the cookie when it was 1 o'clock in the morning and I had a chapter due, right?
Yeah.
So like, and also at the same time this year, I committed to going intergalactic. You know this. I use the word all the time. I wanted to go intergalactic. I wanted to go out there, put myself out there in the world, do this show more, get on more media outlets.
Yes.
I think it's interesting that I'm gaining weight. And is there a little gremlin in my head that's saying, don't put yourself out there, Mark. They're going to start judging you. So is there a part of me that's trying to, right, unconsciously protect myself and say, let me go and destroy this before I even have the opportunity, right?
So
I just wanted to throw that out there and just say, even like, just because we're trained as coaches doesn't mean we have all our shit together. And this is why we have other coaches to talk to us through this and help us through this. So I'm loving what you're throwing out there, Jen. So I'm hearing a couple things. Like, not only does it physically feel good to look in a mirror and think about it, y'all. I for those of you who are coaches, or for those of you who ever thought this, if you've ever walked around butt naked and you're like, hell yes, I feel good and I look good, right? That's what Jen's talking about, right? But then also at the same time, like taking that sex drive and going from a 10 and taking it to an 11, baby. That's the other thing,
And can I just add to that real quick?
Absolutely.
Because I feel like so many women get into this comparison game, like, oh my God, I could never look like her. And and so it's not about like looking like someone else, but it's about knowing when you look in the mirror that we're doing the best we can. Look, I tell people all the time, I'm like you, I'm an open book. Yeah, I'm ripped in certain areas, but man, I still carry cellulite in my legs. It's not tremendous, but it's enough that it used to run me. Now I'm like, I'm just going to own it. For me, that's where I carry some. Makes me human. My husband loves a little something. And it's my husband. He's like, man, if nothing moved at all, how boring. You're just going to be like a stone statue, Jen. So it's so nice you have a little bit of something to grab. But they're laughing. But women, trust me, they're listening to the replay like, I'm so glad that woman said that. Because many times we're marketed like, look like me, or you're not good enough, or like it's subliminal. And for me, I don't show the arms to go, look at me, you should too. It's A, I worked really damn hard and I'm committed. And B, when you eat clean and eat the way we're talking, your body naturally gets to this place with not a shit ton of effort. Yes, I go to the gym consistently, but I'm not obsessed, people. Like 3 times a week to me is not obsessive. I'm going 5 or 6. I'm not too impressed that I look this way. Like, all right, you're obsessed. I got better things to do with my friggin' time. But it's about like looking in the mirror and knowing you're doing the best you can. And when I look in the mirror, that is what I see. And then I bring that to the bedroom with a clean conscience.
Yeah. Well, let me throw this. Let me throw this out there. I love the fact, and I don't know if y'all picked this up, when Jen was talking about the idea of deprivation, and she was like, I don't coach people to deprive themselves of sugar. And it's almost like a different way to, it's almost a perspective shift that you're talking about here. And I think, again, we both came, me, Andy, we came from Catholic school, and no knock on Catholic school, but knocking on it.
Thank you.
There is a certain amount of guilt and deprivation when we went to school. I mean, that might have changed in the past couple years, but guilt, deprivation, when you experience pleasure, denial, all of those things seem to be things that really were kind of an underlying theme, and probably one of the reasons I really like deep diving with clients is so you can get to certain points that you're like, oh, I just thought this was just part of me, and then it was like, yeah, but it is, but there's a whole other unconscious part that's so good. And if you're thinking deprivation of sugar, well, when you actually have that cake with your husband, you're going to feel like shit. You're not going to have a healthy conversation with your body and right, say sorry.
I love that. I already decided I'm going to do it different next year, right? And not from a place of deprivation or denial. I just like to get back to this place of feeling really good waking up.
Yeah.
It took effort, and I prefer to just wake up and feel good. And I was like, oh, I feel sluggish. And don't get me wrong. It's not just that. Like, I know people might be thinking, oh my God, this woman just had, 3 bites and didn't feel good. No, because I had bread also that day. And for many, they're gluten sensitive. And not because gluten is the devil. I mean, people do this too, right? They run away with this shit and they're like, oh, gluten is the devil. And this woman, no, I'm not saying that either. So let's not make that up. But I'm going to tell you, gluten, the way sugar, is in everything. If you read packaging, that's what I teach. This product was made in a factory that produces wheat. And this product was made in a factory that produces wheat. And everything is made in a factory that's producing wheat. So guess what is in everything? Wheat. So when you have a lot of everything, it's like having 50 bananas in a day, you're probably going to start getting a sensitivity to bananas. Not to mention, I didn't mention this, but let's go there 2 seconds. I came out into the world already, dear God bless my family, like not well. My mom told me I had a cyst. I was born with a cyst on my neck, and they had to do surgery in my first year of life to remove a cyst. Okay. And for the first year of my life, for those who don't know what happens when you're little, and they put me on an antibiotic from like day 1 of life for a year without probiotics ever. So for those who don't know why I'm talking this way, it's because 1 dose of an antibiotic kills your gut flora. And when you don't have healthy gut flora, you naturally crave sugar. You can have anxiety. Can we go there? Because that's where serotonin is made in the gut. So I already came out basically screwed. A whole year I had antibiotics flushing through me with no way to replace my gut flora. So no wonder I was addicted to sugar, had anxiety, grinding. I had come out that way. So fast forward to now with the hubs, as we call them, and I'm extremely sensitive to stuff. I'm also an empath. So the book I wrote is all about being highly sensitive growing up this way, being highly sensitive to what you eat. And so, of course, I was highly sensitive in the morning, right, because of my past. So I just want people to know that, because there's this blame on gluten. Don't eat it. But for some people, they can tolerate it. But when it's in everything and you have a compromised system the way I did, you don't feel good the next day.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to throw this on the screen.
Do it.
Diet hacks.
Oh!
What are diet hacks we can do to get the sugar out quickly?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
First things that come to mind, given that I live this shit. Okay, Number 1, you want to get the sugar out, the processed sugar, the cane sugar, the sucralose, all that stuff. But have fruit. People say, but isn't it sugar? Yes! But it's attached to vitamins and minerals, and please make it organic. Please, please, especially if it's strawberries, it's apples. There's a couple on the list. I think raspberries are on the list of the dirty dozen. Please, please, please. We don't want chemicals going in, which cause cravings, by the way. So we don't want that in. So eat fruit. Eat some fruit. 3 o'clock, you're like Snickers or, trying to think, Starbucks latte loaded with chemicals and sugar. Grab an apple. I don't even care if you eat a friggin' banana. Just eat food.
Gotcha. Okay. So it's not, it's not complete deprivation of sugar, but there's sugar that's just like, there's extreme sugar, and then you're kind of stepping off, right? Like,
I call it
eat fruit.
The drama sugar. The stuff that goes
I
in.
actually got that too. Manage with low drama sugars. I wrote that down for myself.
Good.
You know, so getting it out quickly, eating some fruit, eating the more low drama sugar.
Yes.
Less processed stuff. If the food is only a color, you probably shouldn't eat it, right?
Just wrote an article about that. Yes. If you can't pronounce it, I know people are going to go, well, what am I going to eat, Jen? Well, A, that's what I'm here for. And B, like chicken, broccoli, nuts, like things that are one ingredient. One ingredient foods will resize you so quick. We're just not used to eating them and thinking of them as, wow, an option.
Yeah, we think of them as an ingredient for something else, right?
That's right.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So
I eat a bunch of one ingredient foods all the time. It's really what I eat. And butter. Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about butter. I didn't know we could eat butter.
Yeah, but I always say the quality matters. Quality matters. So grass-fed organic butter is the best. There's one, Kerrygold is my favorite. I haven't heard anything bad about it at the time of this live. But it has, it's made in Ireland, first of all. It's not here for those who live in the States watching. Yeah. It's from Ireland. It's from grass-fed cows. And nutritionally, it is actually proven to be good for you versus the antibiotic-laden, hormone-filled butters. So
we got some Kerrygold lovers up in here.
Yes, and it's truth. So the quality matters too for those who eat meat. Can I go there? It matters. 100% grass-fed cows that were preferably loved, and energetically it matters. I swear we think what we eat. It's for another day. Let's talk.
It's not for another day. It is for people who take action and get in touch with you. You and I will always be in touch. This is our intergalactic year, and so I'm going to have you back on the show. Mama, we said that we set our goal for 30 minutes, and you got in flow, and so I stuck with you. And we probably could have gone another 30 minutes. I don't know if you're hearing yourself. You're on fire right now.
Thanks,
and the audience interaction is awesome.
Thank you. It really is. Oh, Adamaris.
Love Jen. Freaking passionate about what she does. You cannot deny. No one can deny Jen of what she's passionate about, and especially as you're explaining your story of triumph. That's freaking awesome. If you ever see Jen in person too, she's jacked. I thought you were an actual American Ninja Warrior when I first saw you at that last.
Dude, I totally want to do that.
Yeah, when I last saw you in what was it last month in New York in May? You were totally jacked. Now this is the thing, Jen. I want you back, and I want you to talk to us about. Jen's got an 8-week program that is coming out, and I want you to stay tuned and listen to that in a second. Actually, you know what? Let's go there now. Talk to us about the 8-week program.
It's out. I accept 5 women a month. I have 5 spots right now. Okay. It's based on my book, and it's the stuff we're talking about, given to you weekly with action steps. I say I'm all about action. You can hear great stuff, but if you're not actually going to do anything with it, that's something else I don't do. So it's every week of seeing me, hearing me, and then you get to have these calls like this once a week with whoever else is in the program at that time. And we get to hash out what's up either in that lesson or something going on in your life. And because I know you know this, it's a muscle. So the stuff I'm teaching today, the stuff I teach works. And if you try it today, you are going to notice how you're going to feel at night by eating a piece of fruit at 3:00 over pretzels, with all due respect, coffee, scones, all this processed stuff, because it, dips your energy and then sends you real low. But it takes time.
Absolutely.
It takes time for this stuff. So that's my truth bomb. Yes, the stuff I teach, you teach work, but it takes time. Hence, I created this 8-week program, Woman Unleashed VIP. And it's just works. It works. And you're with a community of other women who were there at the time. And we get to just be real like this.
Yeah.
Jen, and crap. Woke up anxious. Great. Let's handle it. What's up? How do we tweak that?
What I love, Jen, is that not only are you talking about action steps, not only are you talking about a community of support, but you're also talking about mindset shifts. And for those of you who know mindsets are like train tracks in your brain. Like you constantly want to go on those train tracks. And as you're creating change, you're redrawing the new tracks. And that's what an 8-week program, a 9-week program, a 7-week program is about, is once you shift that mindset, it becomes so much easier. And you don't need to blow up a house and get like stitches in your face to do it, right? You don't have to get clunked over the head, right?
I needed to do that, right?
Yes.
To live my mission.
Yes.
So whatever it took.
But it doesn't have to be like that for everybody.
It doesn't. You know? No. I think I'm done blowing things up now. My husband's like, we're good, Beb. Beb, we're good.
We're good, Beb. We're good, Beb.
That's how he talks to me. Don't blow anything else up, Beb. We're good. We're good.
Well, the next thing that we're gonna blow up is your presence nationally, because I know you got the New York media right now. So let's come down to Florida and let's go out west and let's go Midwest and let's go international and then let's go intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic, and let's do this, Jen. I want y'all to get in touch with Jen. Jenn at jecoaching.com. That's Jenn with 2 N's at jecoaching.com. Where can we get your book?
You can. So I am more than happy to gift anyone who wants an ebook version. They can have it if they email me or private message me. If you would like a hard copy, Amazon. Blow me up on Amazon. But you got to let me know, because I'm gifting 5 months of my inspiration. I wrote 5 months of inspiration. You get that every single day as part of my book. Mm-hmm. I wrote that. So you can private message me, follow me on Facebook, Insta, Jenn Edden. But yeah, I would gift anyone that wants a copy. And then you get to be with me and hang out in my community and hear these pearls of wisdom a few times a month.
Yeah, that is very generous that Woman Unleashed is going to be gifted. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I want you to go right now to the show notes, because you can go and click over Jen's name and add her as a friend or PM her.
Nice.
It's that easy right now, y'all. But Jenn, I don't know if you have seen the end of this show. So the end of this show is actually, yes, it's actually why we call it the Golden Mic, right? So Jenn, I want to thank you again for coming on the show. You know how much adoration I have for you. So like, we've been trying to do this. This is our 3rd time. We made it work, and it's perfect. It was meant to happen on this day, right? Yes. So Jenn, I want you to imagine, if you will, a golden mic is now descending from your New York ceiling and stopping right in front of you. And the thing with this golden mic, Jenn, is that for 2 minutes, it broadcasts across the world and translates into every language. And when I hit the switch, you're going to be live across the world, translated to every language.
Mark.
So Jenn Edden, you are on the Golden Mic Live.
And I'm live. Here's what I want to share. Your past, who you came from, how you grew up, does not need to define where you're headed. And that the truth be told, in any given moment, on any given day, and if this is what you needed to hear today, thanks to Mark and this beautiful golden mic, maybe this is your message today, that you get to wake up and do something different. Anything different. I always tell my clients and everyone that I meet that every day is an opportunity to do it different. And it's only because we haven't known that, potentially for a lot of people up till now, that we're at choice in any moment to do it different. And this just might be it right now. This just might be, you're ready to make that change. And if you're thinking, I don't know what that change is, then you know what? Go find a quiet place under a tree somewhere, because I do this. Go ground yourself and go talk to your spirit guide, your angels, God, Allah, Buddha, whoever it is for you, because the answer is always right there. Just when there's a lot of chatter and noise, we can't always hear what it is that's coming to us. So today, maybe that's what you want to do. And while you're at it, go eat an organic apple or something, because I got to tell you, or especially given what I do for sugar addiction, like apples are the bomb. The greener, the better, organic. And I swear to you, an apple a day takes the doctor away. It's because it's friggin' true. So my Italian grandmother said something truthful. Go eat a friggin' organic apple. And I kid you not, you watch how good you feel. Because while I used to be addicted to sugar and everything else, I'm actually addicted to feeling good now. And when you're addicted to feeling good, nothing can mess with that. Nothing messes with feeling addicted to feeling good.
Jen, you can take my golden mic and completely do a mic drop on it right now. Jen just talked about her grandma eating an apple to the universe. I mean, she just told the whole universe to eat an organic apple. It's good for you. And also at the same time, Jen really talked about something amazing, which is, you talked about amazing stuff with apples. This whole hour was amazing. Yeah. Jen talked about doing something different. And if you don't know what to do different, well, go find a place and quiet your mind, because it's all in here, y'all. It's all in here and it's all around. It's intuition, right? So the thing, Jen, is I just want to thank you again for having you on the show. So y'all, this has been the Golden Mike Live, episode 41, Sex and Candy. If you want to know more, get in touch with Jen. And my final question for y'all is, if you're feeling good and if you're living your life's purpose, what is your responsibility to serve the greater good? I'm your boy, Mark Cordone. This is Jenn Edden. Here's to feeling good. Here's to eating apples. I'll see you on tomorrow's Golden Mike. Take care. Thank you, Jen.
Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome, sister. That was freaking brilliant.